Hey guys, it's Russ with Bounty Hunter Metal Detectors. Today I'm out with the Tracker Pro, and what I'd like to do is show you how best to set this machine up for coin and jewelry hunting. But before we do that, let's talk about some of the features here. There is a headphone jack right here, so you can use headphones or you can use it without headphones. It has an onboard speaker. The Tracker Pro runs on one 9-volt battery, which goes right here. Okay, let's talk about the controls. Very simple. You only have 5. You've got the power on and off button. You've got a minus button, which controls your discrimination, and you have the plus button, which also controls your discrimination. We have a notch and we have a sensitivity. All right, so let's talk about the LCD screen. Across the top here, you've got your conductivity arc. You have iron, foil, 5-cent, aluminum, zinc, 10-cent, 25-cent, 50-cent, and dollar. Down on the lower left, you've got your battery condition. That tells you how much battery life you have. Right next to that is your depth indicator. It tells you how deep targets are. And right next to that, we have our sensitivity indicator, which allows you to set the sensitivity at any level you wish. Okay, first let's talk about setting your discrimination. Now, if you push the plus button, it'll incrementally knock out targets. You can see we just knocked out iron. Let's do foil. There you go, 5-cent, aluminum, zinc, and that's as far as you can go. The reason being is you don't want to knock out 10-cent, quarter, 50-cent, dollar, because there's some high value targets that are in that section. So to bring those back, you just hit the minus button again. And you see there we're in all metal mode. We'll detect all sorts of metal. So if I didn't want to detect any iron, I just hit this button here. Boom, no more iron. So let's bring that back in. Let's talk about notching. What notching does is, so let's say here, I'm going to set this up here. Let's say we didn't want to detect any aluminum. Well, guess what? We lost the 5-cent as well. So in order to bring 5-cent in, we would use notch. So the way you do that is hit your notch button. See, there we got foil, there we got 5-cent, and just let it go. So now we can detect 5 cents again. Now, if I want to get rid of the 5 cents, I go back to it, highlight it, and then leave it alone. It's gone. Let's bring it back in. There we are. We brought it back in. Now, let's say we wanted to get aluminum back in as well for some reason. There's aluminum. Now, let's get rid of those. Get rid of 5 cent. Get rid of aluminum. There, so that's how notch works. We'll bring everything back in now just by using the minus button. There we are, we're back in all metal mode. Now let's talk about sensitivity, which is right here. In order to adjust the sensitivity, you just hit this button. You can see we're at full sensitivity now. Now we're only at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Full sensitivity again. So very simple, you can just cycle through it. So you see I'm cycling through this. Default setting is right here. All right, let's talk about how to read your depth indicator there. As you can see, we've got a dime on the ground there. It's right on the surface. There's 3 levels of depth indication. The more triangles you see, the deeper the target is. So we'll go right across this on the surface. You can see we have 1 indicator. So that means it's right on the surface to about 2 inches. So let's lift that coil up a little bit. You can see right there, I'm about 4 inches above, and we have 2 triangles, telling me it's about 4 inches deep. 4 to 6 inches. Now let's lift that up higher. I'm about 8 inches over the target now. You see we have 3 indicators. So the more triangles you see, the deeper the target is. Each triangle is equivalent to about 2 inches. So 1 triangle would be surface to 2 inches, 2 triangle would be 2 to 4 inches, and 3 triangles is deeper than 5 inches. All right, now I'm going to show you how I would set the Tracker Pro up for coin hunting. We don't want to detect iron, so let's get rid of iron. We don't want foil. We do want nickels, but we don't want aluminum. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go all the way through to aluminum. All right, so we lost nickels. Now to bring that back in, remember we use that notch button. There's a foil, we don't want that. There's the dime or the nickel, we want that. So now we are not detecting iron, we're not detecting foil, we are detecting nickels, we're not detecting aluminum, and we're detecting zinc pennies, copper pennies, dimes, quarters, and 50-cent pieces. Okay, let's talk about sensitivity. Sensitivity just kind of depends on where you're hunting. In some areas, you might be able to run it full bore like we are here. In some areas, you might have to run it all the way down to 2 or 3. The reason being is that there is electromagnetic interference in the air. This can be caused by power lines, or if you're around an air conditioner outside of a house or something like that, radio towers, big telephone lines. So the way you combat that is you run your sensitivity down or run it up as high as it can go while it's still stable. Now you can see the area that I'm at, it's stable here, so I can run it full bore. But let's say I had a power line, what I would do is I would go all the way down to 1. If it was stable, I'd click it up again. And if it was stable, I'd click it up 1 more. And if it was still stable, I'd click it up another one. Now let's say that now it started getting all these false readings. I'm not moving it, there's nothing going on, yet it's beeping and chirping. So I know now that I can't run it at 4, I have to run it at 3 because it was stable at 3. So I would go right back to 3, and that's how I set my sensitivity. Now, if 3 is as high as I can go for the area I'm at, well, that's what I'm gonna search in. But if it's an area like this, I can go full bore, so I'm gonna search full bore. That way I know I'm getting the most depth possible. I wanna caution you guys here because some people think that, oh, if I go too low on the sensitivity, I'm not gonna get a lot of depth. That is only marginally true. Sensitivity is mainly to fight electromagnetic interference in the area. Now, yes, you will lose some depth, but it's very marginal and hardly noticeable. And really, if you can't hunt because of all the erratic false beeping and stuff called by electromagnetic interference, well then you just can't even hunt at all. So better to run the sensitivity a little bit lower so you have a nice stable machine. So what I'm saying basically is don't be afraid to run that sensitivity down a little bit lower if you have to. Okay, so here we are. This is my preferred setting for coins with the Tracker Pro. Now you can see I don't detect iron, I'm not detecting foil, I am detecting nickels, I'm not detecting aluminum, and then everything from zinc on the way up is detected. Okay, so here I've buried some targets from iron all the way up to a gold ring. So I'd like to show you how this detector works when set up this way. Okay, so the first target's gonna be an iron screw. Nothing. That's because I got rid of iron. Now let me bring iron back in just to show you how this works. Okay, so we have iron back in now. Now you can hear that low grunt. Now let's go back to our coin hunting settings here. We'll bring notch in, go up to 5 cent, there we go. Go back over it, nothing. All right, now let me show you the target here. There we go. There is an iron screw there, which the Tracker Pro got rid of since we told it we didn't want to detect junk targets like this iron screw. Okay, the next target is a nickel. Now we told the Tracker Pro that we wanted to detect nickels, so we should be able to see the nickel pop up. Okay, so here we are. We're over the nickel target. And you can see the Tracker Pro is telling us there's a nickel down there. All right, again, I buried these targets myself. They're only a couple inches deep. It's just for demonstration. There we are, 1 US nickel. Okay, the next target is a zinc penny. Okay, you can see the Tracker Pro is telling us it's a zinc penny. Let's dig it. There we are, nice zinc penny. All right, the next target is going to be a dime. Now, on all metal detectors, or most metal detectors anyways, a dime and a penny read the same. It's because they're so close to each other in conductive signatures. So let's go ahead and go over a dime. Okay, so now you can see the Tracker Pro is telling us there's a dime there. Let's get it. Oh, look at that. Nice mercury dime, 1943 mercury dime. The next target is going to be a quarter. Now you can see the Tracker Pro is telling us there's a quarter down there. All right, let's dig it and see. There it is, a nice quarter. Now this is a very old quarter. This is a quarter I found a while ago. It is a seated quarter, 1870s, I believe. So the next target is going to be a silver ring. Now you can see the Tracker Pro is saying it's a quarter. That's because it's very similar in size and weight to a quarter, as well as conductivity. So there we are, a nice sterling silver ring. You could hear there was a high pitch on all of these too. All right, the next target is a gold ring. Now you can see the Tracker Pro is picking it up occasionally, but not all the time. Now this isn't the fault of the Tracker Pro, it's us. We've done something to where this won't detect it. And this is where the jewelry setting comes in. Because you can see, we knocked out iron, we knocked out foil, we have 5 cent, and we knocked out aluminum. Now unfortunately, gold falls in foil all the way up to aluminum, and even zinc if it's real big. So let's go ahead, we'll put this in my preferred jewelry settings. Everything will be the same that you saw before, except we'll be able to pull in more of the gold targets. Okay, so now I've got iron, foil, 5 cent back. Now let me notch back in aluminum. So then for jewelry, the only thing I'd get rid of is iron. So we've got rid of iron, we've got foil, 5 cent, aluminum, zinc, 10 cent, 25 cent, 50 cent, and $1. So that means we'll be able to detect all the gold targets and all the silver targets as well. So let's go over this target again. Right there. Tracker Pro is singing on this target. You can see it's bouncing around between foil and 5 cent piece. So that's why we were able to pick it up occasionally, but not all the time. So again, no problem picking up this ring. Let's see what's in there. There you go. A nice 14 karat woman's diamond wedding ring. You find something like this with a Tracker Pro, and if it's there, the Tracker Pro can and will find it. You will have paid for your Tracker Pro 3, maybe 4, maybe even 5 times over.